Hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to look at your energy for today. So let's get into it. It is a beautiful sunny day on the day that I am recording. Beautiful fall day, I should say. The air is getting a little crispy in the evening times, but then the sun comes up and it's just so warming and affirming. And I'm talking about this because we really need this type of nurture for our soul right now. There is a lot that is reshuffling in the collective, in the astrology, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff, especially on the emotional front. These are issues, ways we feel about ourselves, about our environment, what's going on, etc., that we need to make peace with, that we need to contend with, we need to look at, doing a little bit of the deeper work to understand and recognize where the changes need to be made, the things that are inhibiting us, whether it is a person, a situation, a dynamic, or something from within, right? As within, so without. So we have to remember that what we are manifesting into our environment is a direct reflection of how we feel about who we are. And that's why it's just so important right now to give yourself as much support as possible, especially dealing with the heavier, trickier things. The moon we have more of a dominant water element. The moon, our emotions are more struggling with like what the changes are and maybe like not loving them so much or wishing it was different, wishing things had worked out different. So we'll start with this energy cleansing, set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. A little blessing to you, a little blessing for me and for the reading alike. It's a good time to set your own intention as well. If you would like specific questions answered or messages from spirit, definitely give those and be open to receive. And we will get into it. Let's go. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best from coming through. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, annoyance, impatience. Cleanse it and remove it from our being, so that we can see and understand the lessons clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Okay. So Mercury is tensely aspected to Mars. I know that we often talk, excuse me. I know we talk about the tension that is coming up a lot. I mean, here's the thing. It's a little more balanced than what we were seeing during the new moon midweek. But there still is this tension to contend with. And Mercury square to Mars is actually one of the more dominant transits today, where what we are engaging with, maybe communications, talking with people, situations, we're not really getting the emotional support that we're looking for, especially around those newer things or newer ways to move forward. There was this message the other day of really understanding who and what you're talking with and adjusting expectations accordingly. Not everyone is going to understand what you are doing right now. Yeah, so knowledge. Use that knowledge, put it into practice. Not everyone's going to understand, and that's okay. We have a lot of growth and empowerment happening within ourselves, seeing that the North Node and Chiron are in Aries. So it's all about refining and evolving and growing, integrating the lessons, the knowledge that we've learned. Yeah. And then having the courage to bring it forward. Bring it forward, meaning go after the things that you want. Make those changes in your life towards your happiness, towards your fulfillment. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. There are things that are more intertwined with you that are more difficult to let go of. We see that with the moon tensely aspected to Pluto right now, or specifically today. It's also contra-parallel with Mars and Jupiter. So it's just this like frustration, right? Like the places that you're trying to like put your best foot forward and make changes or go after the things you want, you're not seeing the momentum. And it's like, WTF, right? I'll PG it for the channel and try not to be, well, I mean, whatever. Cuss words for me sometimes are very satisfying. So I apologize in advance if it offends you. But, you know, so this is all about learning how to transmute the energy, right? So it goes back to the knowledge that you are gaining, that you are receiving from moving through these life experiences, right? It is all about growth and evolution. And when I'm talking about growth and evolution, it's basically like being a better version of yourself. The tension, the discord, the frustration, it pops up. So we will grow, right? So we don't remain stagnant and just like plateau our whole life. I mean, we can make a choice to do so, but that's really what Ayurveda equates to pain and suffering. Ayurveda is holistic medicine. It is the oldest form of holistic medicine. And it's heavily intertwined with how we live our life. You know, what are our habits, our patterns, our daily routine, etc. How we're feeding and nourishing ourselves. Back to this component of the divine feminine. So this is being blocked for you today. And, you know, maybe you're a little busy. Saturday's the day that I'm recording. They're the day of Saturn. So it can bring up just either you're busy getting your stuff together, ready for the week, cleaning up after the week, however that fares, maybe making plans that you're excited about. But at the same time, you know, being a little more in the masculine energy versus the feminine. And Spirit is really calling you to find times to plug in that nourishment, that support for yourself, right? You know, if you do go out and get brunch or lunch or something today, maybe eat something nice or good for you, not just like indulgent, but something that just like helps you feel like clean and supported and like you have the energy to do what you got to do, that type of value, right? Because we are in this time of grounding. That's the overarching energy today. So as we make these changes, as uncomfortable as they may be, it's also the more we learn, the more we grow, the more we're able to kind of ground into the new choices, into the new way of life. And this has been a slow progression. Pluto moving into Aquarius started March 2023. It's not like a year and a half ago. And it doesn't officially like stay in Aquarius until like it will go direct mid-month. So a lot of this has been about learning lessons, and it has been a slow go. It's probably a little bit annoying in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's not the reality, but you know, for some people, they like to take their time. I do not, right? One and done, baby. No. But just this value of like patience in the process, yes, but also like learning about self-protection, learning about how to better situate yourself with people and situations so that you are in alignment with your success, whatever that may be, right? We need dynamics that support the growth and evolution, not the ones that are constantly like fighting back and making it difficult, putting a lot of roadblocks, anger, frustration, fights, arguments, drama, like all that BS, right? And that's really what's coming to light. It's coming to head. People, no one can escape it right now. So However, you know, it's popping off for everybody, I should say. However you're living, however you're showing up for yourself, for others, is being highlighted. But, you know, what I want to say is that you're also displaying a lot of courage and a lot of strength and power. You are taking these lessons to heart. You know, you're not just, okay, you see it and then turn a blind eye and make the same choice again and the same pattern ends up happening, right? Now you're actually trying to learn and say like, okay, well, how would I do this differently? And it is very much in the masculine energy, right? Maharishi Ayurveda has this concept about like duality, and that like we need both action and rest in order to make things manifest. And so finding a little bit more of a delicate balance between like how much you put on your plate, making sure not to overwhelm yourself, especially on the days during the times where you do have a little bit more space, making sure that you are taking time to like nourish yourself through some self-love, self-care practices, whether it is what you're eating, right? Like having really grounding, stabilizing foods, not anything too light right now. You know, it's about feeling supported, especially as we gear up for the season to come, right? The colder months in, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, at least. So 4 of Wands. So you're learning some things. 4 of Wands energy has been coming up. You could be dealing with family dynamics, something at your home environment. I feel like someone is kind of reaching out. I feel like there has been a lot changing, and to this point where now, just as I said, this is affecting everyone. It's collective energy, right? And now people are trying a different approach is what I'm hearing. Someone's trying a different approach to get what they want with you. And I feel like they're trying to put a good foot forward. I'm concerned about this strength and this transmute. It feels like someone who knows you. It feels like someone who knows you quite well, or in conversely has a lot of knowledge about you, about how you operate. I'm hearing like there's either already a relationship or dynamic set up between you two, or they've been watching you, you know, not to sound creepy by any means, but this feels a little bit more like past energy, or an energy that you have to learn a lesson from, right? Yeah. So it's been difficult because you have had a lot on your plate and you have had a lot to juggle. And I feel like someone was offended by this. Maybe you didn't have enough time for them. Maybe you weren't giving them enough attention. And so they ended up reacting poorly is what I'm seeing. And I feel like now they kind of want to mend the fences, right? What I see though is that they weren't really giving you the benefit of the doubt. They weren't really recognizing the places that you were really stressed out or the things that you had going on. And so there's this part of you, I feel, yeah, you're like disappointed about how things have gone. But at the same time, I do feel like your perspective has shifted. And it is shifting because you are way more grounded now than maybe you were at the time that some of this stuff happened, or you just have changed. You've grown. You've, you know, you're trying to pursue different things in your life is what I'm hearing. And I feel like this person, yeah, thinks they still have a chance and opportunity with you. Queen of Wands energy showing up. Dun dun dun, the Wands family. They do pop up on the regular in our readings. And you know, it could be a fire sign or a couple fire signs that you're dealing with, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or it could just be someone who's embodying that fire energy, you know, like really pushy, like forcing their agenda, trying to have control, trying to kind of like dictate possible manipulation of the situation, you know? someone's made a different decision. So like, I feel like they're trying to take a different path. And I feel like they're communicating this to you. And in hopes that you will respond, in hopes that you will receive like what they have to say. I do feel like they are really bummed with how things have gone. They're seeing that things are changing a little bit more. And I feel like they're even seeing some of this Knight of Wands bad behavior, right? So they're seeing that someone's just constantly causing this drama and conflict. And maybe where they originally sided with this person or individual, now it looks like they're cutting ties, right? I don't know that this Knight of Wands energy knows about this quite yet, because they're still looking at the Three of Cups. They still think they have something in the bag. This Knight of Wands is way more immature. Yeah, and a little bit trying to get people on their side, trying to like, yeah. They're trying to protect something is what I'm seeing. They're trying to protect something, like doing minimum amounts of work. What are they trying to protect from the collective? Minimum amounts of work. Yeah, like kind of, they don't want you to know. I feel like they like their autonomy. There's someone that does stir the pot, but it's like with ulterior, I mean, I guess that's always with ulterior motives, but it looks like they're really self-protecting. It looks like they do this in order to kind of create this narrative about you or about the dynamics, create this conflict, keep this conflict happening over and over and over again. And I feel like this Queen of Wands is starting to wake up to this. I feel like they're yeah, wanting to connect, wanting to tell you about their disappointment, that they wish it didn't work out this way. Let's look at your energy towards this. I think it is going to highlight some things. I feel like you are going to, well, a lot of truth is coming out. Let's be plain and simple with that. A lot of truth is coming out, but it's not your vibe. It's not your vibe. I feel like this is a lot of like bad behavior, or he said, she said, or like unnecessary drama. And, you know, you've kind of, yeah, you've come out of this already. And in some ways, it's like pulling you back in. Let's see how the response is, though, with this Queen of Wands. There might be some threats, is what I'm hearing. Someone's mad. Yeah, they don't like it. I feel like they're trying to plead their case, right? I think it's really hard. You know, I feel like for you, it is going to take a lot of courage, a lot of strength to transmute this energy, because either you have really close connections with these people. It could be family members, like I said, or just like really close friends, community, business partners, however it relates for you. And it does look like there's a really shaky, or the foundation has been shaky for a minute. And I feel like while they've been, you know, this Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, while they've been off doing whatever they've been doing, you've actually just been trying to heal. You've been trying to move and grow and become more grounded, right? Become more grounded and understand why people are working out in the way that they are. And as you've gained this knowledge, this information, it's really putting you into this space where you're having courage, you're having strength to communicate what you need to. But I do feel like there are heavy boundaries that need to be set, and that's going to be where the challenge comes into play. Really kind of think through what feels comfortable and best for you. I feel like the Queen of Wands is not going to give up. They're going to want you to hear their perspective and justify their part in this whole dynamic. I'm not sure that it's enough for you. Or, you know, it's also this value of like really connecting with, like what, I don't know, there's a lot of ego playing out in this dynamic, whether you want to agree with that for yourself or it's just these other people that you're dealing with. I feel like this is something to sit on. This is something to think about, to think through, making sure that your vanity is not getting in the way, but also having, you know, honest and authentic choices for yourself, right? Making sure that you're creating the boundaries that you need. And, you know, there might be some children involved, or maybe you feel like you have lost out on some things in the process because of how people, situations have treated you. It's going to take a lot of self-reflection for you to really figure out if you want to re-engage with this. Decisions are on the table today. I feel like I can't leave it like this. It feels like, so you're protected is what I'm hearing, right? So whatever decision you make, you're protected. Yeah, but it does feel like boundaries are necessary for now or for a period of time, especially because, like I said, I'm feeling a lot of anger, and usually fire energy does love to control and manipulate, and you really got to be mindful of that today. You got to be mindful of protecting your own energy. You've come out of this and you've worked really hard to do so, and you really have to self-evaluate whether it is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is it worth getting back into this? And you know, I feel like that is about being patient, about waiting things out, not needing to make a decision today or tomorrow or in a week, giving yourself some space to do what you need to do and see kind of where you land before you give a thumbs up one way or another. So I'm sorry this was a little heavy of a reading, but I do hope that it helps. I hope it gives you clarity and guidance and insight into like just how to navigate some of these harder things, right, that we're facing right now. Definitely drop comments below if it resonated. I love to connect. I love to just, you know, share in a little love, little support, little blessings, because I appreciate all you bring to the channel. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. Sending all the love and blessings your way today.